Okay, I want to talk to you guys about how to start a brand new information publishing business in 2026. So listen up. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this. And personally, I think that a lot of people are starting over, really, when you think about it, because AI kind of reset the bar on everything. It kind of democratized a lot of things. It made a lot of things easy for a lot of people. There are still a lot of issues. If there wasn't a lot of issues, then so many people would not be broke right now. So many people would not be having trouble making anything happen right now. We're going to introduce this guide in a way that applies to everybody. And what I want to do is I want to give you 5 steps, a simple 5 steps to make this happen for you. These are the first 5 steps that I would do starting a brand new business this year. And what I would tell you is I'm going to give you challenges at each step. Oh, by the way, before I get into step 1, let me just remind you, I'm Cam from EpicConversions.com. Sign up for my email list if you enjoy this video. All right. Also, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment down below. Let me know that I'm helping you. It means the world to me because, man, it's tough making videos like this when you don't think you're helping anybody. So anyways, that being said, what's step 1? Step 1 is pretty easy, but it's surprising how many people don't do it. Step 1 is figure out who you want to help. And I mean define them specifically. Who are they? What are their problems? What are they buying? What are their goals? And I think a problem that a lot of people face here is they don't get specific enough about who they want to help. I think that it is important in 2026 especially, and moving forward, it is most important, it is most critical to niche down. The reason you're doing it is because you're reducing your competition. Think about it. I mean, you could probably earn 6 figures a year just helping 1,000 people. So you really don't need massive amounts of people. There really is no such thing as that niche is too small to make a full-time living off of. There is no such thing. Not when you can gather up 1,000 people, get them all to pay you like $10 a month, and now you're earning 6 figures a year. So there really is no too small. So I think it's most important to niche down and reduce your competition. But once you do niche down and discover who you're trying to help, you can move on to step 2. The second thing that I would do is I would map out a product suite. Don't create any products yet. Just map out what it would be. Now let me remind you, by the time you get to step 2, you already know who your niche is. You already know who you're trying to serve. Now we're going to map out a product suite. What do you mean, Cam? What do you mean map out a product suite? We're going to do very basic map out of a product suite. We're going to go lead magnet to low ticket offer to mid ticket offer to high ticket offer. What does it look like? Well, let's say I'm targeting beginner email marketers. A lot of people might argue that's too generic. That's not specific enough. I would probably be one who agrees with that. It's not specific enough. I would probably niche that down even further, but just for this example, we're going to use it. Beginner level email marketers. What would an example product suite look like if I was going to map this out? So I'd have a lead magnet called something like 10 free ways to build an email list fast. I'm targeting beginner email marketers, so I'm going to have a lead magnet that is very enticing. There's no reason not to get it, and it's going to target the first problem that beginner email marketers are going to face, building a list, right? Instant gratification, 10 ways. I want that lead magnet to be impactful. I want it to help them, and I want it to endear me unto them. When they opt in for that lead magnet, I would have a low ticket offer anywhere between 10 and 20 bucks. And that offer would be targeting how to get people to open your emails so that you make more money. right? Because when we talk about beginner email marketers, the first problem is building a list. The second problem is how to get people to open the emails. And look at how I'm doing this. I'm walking through the problems as they would face them. How to get people to actually open your email so that you can make more money. And I would charge like 10 or 15 bucks for it. Very simple. As soon as they opt in for the lead magnet, they're going to be offered that. Then they're going to be offered it several more times over the next 4 or 5 days via email. What about the mid-ticket? What's that going to be? Well, for me, when I look at this kind of like little example that we're doing, I'd move in 2 directions with mid-ticket. I'd put them at $197, and I'd have a list building master class, and I'd have a email marketing master class. They'd be $197 a piece, and they would be like counterparts to each other. Like they would complement each other. Like if you have one, in that one, I would also advertise the other one. If you have the other one, I would also advertise the other one. So they would be like symbiotic with each other. They'd be like 2 parts of the same coin. But one would teach more in-depth, very in-depth list building. One would teach very in-depth email marketing. And those would be my 2 mid-tickets, $197 a piece. Now keep in mind, I'm talking about mapping this out. I'm not talking about creating anything yet. Okay, we're just mapping it out on paper, what it would look like. You can map this out in an hour. I'm not talking about in-depth mapping out what the course is going to be, like all the modules and stuff like that. I'm just talking about in general, what would it be? What are you going to do? We're mapping out the product suite, not the individual products themselves. And then the high ticket, what it's going to be with my high ticket, I would set it at $1,000. And what it would be a list building, email marketing mastermind. Now, essentially what I would do with that is they would have access to the list building and email marketing masterclass. They'd have access to those, but also I would do a call once a week. It would probably be limited to like maybe 12 weeks. It'd be $1,000. But for that $1,000, they would have 12 weeks of access to me. We jump on a call once a week for the next 12 weeks. And I would answer everybody's questions. Everyone would get replays of those sessions. Also, I might even add a personal package in there as well. Like maybe they get 4 personal one-on-one calls for their $1,000 where I address them individually, just one-on-one time. It's basically hand-holding, right? But essentially what is happening with that offer is I would take my mid tickets at $197 and I would say, what is a bigger, badder version of that mid ticket at $197 so that I can charge $1,000? And what that would be is that would be my personal attention, right? I would personally help you. I would personally be on call to answer your questions. And that personal access is what increases the price. So now we've just mapped out step 2. We've mapped out our product suite. And that's the second step. That's what I would do. I'd map out a product suite. Once I've figured out who I want to help in step 1, I'd map out my product suite in step 2. Before I move on to step 3, what are the challenges you're going to face in step 2? You're probably going to be overwhelmed by mapping out a product suite. You're not going to know what your products should be. And what I would tell you to solve that problem is to go back to step 1 and make sure you understand your target market, who you want to help really well. Make sure you understand what their problems are, because your product suite should really be based on one of their problems and walking people through a natural progression of what the next problem would be, or taking that one problem and solving it at a deeper level. You know, we think about the mid-ticket for this example. It was email marketing and list building, and then we moved from mid-ticket to high-ticket, not by solving the next problem in the conversation, but by solving that problem at a deeper level. And the way we did that is by adding access to me, the expert, okay? And that's another way you can kind of go about the product suite. But these are some challenges you might face. Another challenge you might face when you're mapping out a product suite is imposter syndrome, feeling like you're not a good enough expert to offer any help to people. This is a problem that is worthy of its own video, but what I would tell you is just focus on solving their problems. Don't put the focus on you and your expertise. Put the focus on them and trying to help them solve their problems. Because at the end of the day, that's what they really care about. They want to have help solving their problems. So step 3 is to go ahead and build that low ticket offer and that lead magnet. Okay? Now you notice in our example, I took an initial problem that the people I want to help would be facing, and then for the low ticket offer, I solved the next problem that they would be facing. I solved the list building problem a little bit, and then I solved the next problem, which is open rates. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just to go a bigger, badder version of the lead magnet, right? So I offered 10 ways to build a list fast. I could say, well, what if I had 50 ways? And then that could be the low ticket, right? So they paid me nothing, just their email address for the 10 ways. But if I said, oh, I got 100 more ways, it's only $15, then that's just a bigger, badder version of the lead magnet. That's another way to do it. But the thing is, in step 3, I would go ahead and build the free item, and then I would build the low ticket upsell. The reason why I go ahead and build these, you don't have to build the rest of this product suite, but the reason why I build these is because the low ticket upsell is important because it's going to recoup your investment, whether you're investing money into getting leads, to getting traffic to your opt-in page, or whether you're investing time and energy doing free content to get people to your opt-in page. Either way, you need to be able to recoup that investment of time, energy, or money. So you want some kind of infrastructure in place to where you can make a little bit of money. So that's why I would just go ahead and do the lead magnet and do the upsell at the same time. That's what I would do. I would create those both and have those in place before I ever even start doing any marketing. You don't need to build an audience when you don't even have an infrastructure in place to sell them anything. That's how I feel. I have the Field of Dreams mentality, all right? And I always have. But in Field of Dreams mentality, it's like if you build it, they will come, all right? So that's how I feel. I've always felt that way. It's never misled me yet. I like having something in place for people to buy before I bother to start building an audience. What are challenges you're going to face in step 3? Challenges are going to be overwhelm. First of all, you're actually going to have to build something now, so it can be, overwhelming. Another challenge is scope creep. And if you don't know what that is, that's like a software development term. It basically means all these other features and ideas and concepts, and they start creeping into your product. You have a simple idea and it starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You don't want that. That's a problem a lot of newbies face. And what you need to do is, like with that lead magnet, you just want to solve a problem and you want to solve it quickly for them, and you want it to be impactful, all right? It's important that they like you, and it's important that you solve a problem fast for them. That's what's important. And let me tell you something, brevity can be an asset in 2026. I mean, people don't have big attention spans anymore. So, thinking you're going to, offer them like 3 hours of content for free for a lead magnet, they're probably only going to watch 15 minutes of it. So you're not really helping them. You're not really creating impact for yourself. So with the low ticket offer, it's kind of the same thing. Whatever problem you solved in the lead magnet, you want to advance the conversation with the low ticket, or you want to go deeper with what you offered them with the lead magnet. Like I said, a bigger, badder version, one or the other. When I'm talking about these two products, it shouldn't take you more than a day to build them. It's a one-day situation. So like if you still work at a normal job, take your day off and build these two products. And that it should be done. You should be able to get it done. We're talking about the realm of info publishing, all right? And in info publishing, they want the content. What is the secret that you have to give to them? What can you tell them? What is the map? What is the secret? What is the go by? What is the instruction? What is the blueprint? That's what they're there for. They're not there for your polished, edited videos. They're not there for your branding. They're not there for your this or your that. They're there for the thing. So if you can be impactful with the thing, you got it, okay? And that doesn't take more than a day to put those two products together, okay? So keep it in mind. Step 4 is I would put a system in place for free content and distribution. I wouldn't bother with, paid advertising at this point. Nothing you're doing is proven yet. So the next step is to put a system in place for free content and distribution of that free content. Let me give you an example of what I mean. So for me, I know any business that I create in 2026, it's going to revolve around email marketing. Like that has been the heart of every business that I've ever created. So my free content is going to start with email. I would commit to publishing at least 3 emails a week. at least 3 emails a week. So you could be like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that's the beginning of my free content system. Then I would take those 3 emails and I would do 3 Facebook live streams for that week. Let's say I send emails out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, I'll do 3 Facebook live streams, one on Monday, one on Wednesday, and one on Friday. And what am I going to talk about in those 3 Facebook live streams? Whatever I talked about in those emails. Whatever my email was for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that would be the topic of conversation in my Facebook live streams. What are those Facebook live streams going to do? In addition to talking about whatever I talked about in those emails, those Facebook live streams are going to pitch my email list, right? So they're going to pitch my free lead magnet. That's what they're going to do. Now, not only is it pitching my low ticket offer in the email, but it's pitching my lead magnet on a Facebook live stream. I would take that Facebook live stream and I would repurpose it on my YouTube channel. I would have a YouTube channel for my business. I would repurpose that Facebook live stream on YouTube. Now, if you can do the Facebook live stream and you can do it on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time, more power to you. Also, I would take that live stream and I would cut it up into shorts. Ideally, if I can get at least 1, 2, or 3 shorts out of that one live stream, fantastic. Because this short form content exists on Facebook and it exists on YouTube, and it is a way to pull new people into your world. So just so we're not losing the plot here, what I'm doing is I'm giving you an example system for free content and distribution. The next thing that I would do is I would focus on a platform like Substack. Right now, we've incorporated YouTube and we've incorporated Facebook. These are 2 proven platforms. Your market exists there. Now we're going to incorporate another platform that's smaller, right? And I'm going to go Substack on it because it's smaller. It allows me the opportunity to build another email list in another location. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to repurpose my 3 emails a week into Substack articles. And then I would pull notes. And if you don't know what notes are, those are basically like tweets for Substack. I would pull notes out of my articles and I would post them on Substack to drive traffic back to my articles on Substack. The notes are going to act as a way to pull in organic traffic from Substack. So you're going to build your list on Substack with those notes. Also, I can use my video content from my Facebook live streams and my YouTube, and I can post those videos on Substack as well because Substack allows you to do video, audio, and written. Also, I would take advantage of Substack's ability to do podcasts, and you can do that right there in Substack. You just flip a switch and it'll do it for you. And you'll be publishing on Spotify now as well. So it's amazing. And you got to remember that video content is going to be promoting your free thing. So it's going to act as a lead acquisition system. What are the challenges with this step? The main challenge you're going to face with step 4 is being consistent. Now, this video is not about how to create good content. It's not about how to create impactful content. I'm not going to go into all that stuff here, but the idea is that you're going to create 3 pieces of content a week. It starts as email content. You want every piece of content to have a point. You want it to be impactful, and you want it to be endearing unto yourself. And those 3 emails then create an entire free content system for you throughout an ecosystem. But it starts with just creating 3 pieces of content, 3 emails. You got to stay consistent. Step 5 is simple. As you continue to do this stuff with your free content, you go ahead and you build out the rest of your product suite. You go ahead and you create your mid-ticket offer. You go ahead and you create your high-ticket offer and have those in place for the product suite. And then what happens after you got this thing rolling? Well, what you can do is you can continue to scale your traffic to this product suite, or what a lot of businesses do is they create another product suite for their same niche, right? That's what a lot of businesses do, but other businesses, they just continue to solve that one problem with that same product suite, and they just make a bunch of money doing that. So it's up to you. I think eventually most people do try to create multiple product suites, and this is just like building out infrastructure for a business and you're running traffic to it. So anyways, if it was brand new for me and I was just starting out, that is what I would do. And I tell you something, what's most important is that you build your email list out. And then the second thing that I would tell you that's most important that we really didn't cover here is that I would put some continuity in place. That's what I would tell you. I think continuity is a topic for another day. And I didn't address continuity here in this 5-step plan, but I can tell you step 6 would be put continuity in place, right? I can tell you that right now. So anyways, that's it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about continuity. If you want me to address step 6, what would that look like? What does a example of that look like? What are the challenges faced with step 6? Let me know if you want me to talk about step 6, and I'll address another video to that. So anyways, this is how to start a new online info publishing business in 2026. I hope it's been helpful to you. Ask me any questions down below and I'll answer any of your questions that you have. Good luck out there. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Cam from Epic Conversions. Peace.